day on the water, then come home to this. I will rub her and touch her and love her just like she was my very own. I shall call her the marsh sled, baby. Lifetime Yukon. It's finna be crazy. Progress update. Motor mounted. Got the transom mount actually up so that the mount itself is out of the water this time. Actually got my plug nice and flat, not at an angle, so good and sealed up, no gaps. Foot controls, still got the tubes, but use the zip tie to keep the tube from sliding in. One thing I don't like about the Yukon 116 is just they put these foot control access points in, which is great, but there's no tube tying it to the foot pedal end of the access point. So you have to run your own tubes, but then this kayak has limited access in the back. So there's no hatch under here or nothing like that. You have to remove the flush mounted fish holders, and it's good that you do, because you actually need to put silicone in those around the edge there, because when I did the pressure test, this is where all the water came out of. I am a railblazing man, so I got a couple of tracks there. I don't like using the crate thing, you know, nothing against those who do. It takes up a lot of space. I can put my cooler bag in the back here, and then, you know, I have a bait bucket sitting over there. Right here is where I have my tackle box. I don't do all the different Plano boxes. I have one hard dual-sided Plano box with all of my stuff in it, and then I put my bunk board right back there. So I don't really need a crate. I like having my poles a little further out so that I'm not doing such a big turn in the seat to try to get my poles out of the crate. So have them there. I usually leave this because of the angle of which the pole comes out. I really only use this if I'm trolling or if I'm dragging a float rig with live bait in the marsh. So that's the only reason why I would use that. The other one stores my net. So here's where my net is. So then right over there, that is where my anchor ball sits. I like a ball better than the claw. I had no issues with it ever getting stuck, and you know, for me, it's more compact. It's easier just to lift it up, sit it in that cup holder there. It's a 5-pound, actually it's a lead downrigger weight. I have a dive reel that I have hooked to it, and I just let the dive reel sit right in here. Love the seat. The seat to me is the best idea that Lifetime came up with. I do wish that they had the high setting just a little higher so you can see. Right there, what I did was I just took 3/4 PVC and bolted it so that it doesn't slide left and, you know, around. And then so I bolted it to the actual seat. It gives me just enough. I mean, setting was good as it was, but I wanted a little more curl in my knees so that when I go to stand up, it's even easier. One of my joys that I installed, so this is my pull string for my trolling motor. And what I did was I ran, I think that's 1/2 inch, maybe 5/16 inch tubing. Ran it from the back here. And again, puts a zip tie on it so it doesn't go into the hole. I'm using this dual pulley system. So I have a pulley here. I have a pulley here. I drilled a hole, put the string in the hole, tie the knot, keep it locked. So now what I have is 2 pulleys assisting me to get it up. It's pretty easy. I just pull my pull string. Not a lot of effort into it at all. And as you can see, it goes up and down. I got the foot pedals. That was a great plus. You have to unlock them. There is a mechanism inside of this one. And all I did was clamp the front end of the mechanism that unlocks it from the track there. So it just unlocks it from this track. And then I took a screwdriver as I'm holding this with one hand, the other hand, I took a flathead screwdriver and just pushed the lock off of the stem that's in there. So there's a stem in there. I don't know how well that could be seen, but there's a stem in there, unlocked it, and then came back, and that's where I tied my foot controls. This railing system, to get it to operate smoothly, you're gonna need to have some type of lubricant here in these grooves here. So I just sprayed it with WD-40. I'm gonna see how that works for now. If it doesn't work well, because I do brackish water, salt water, a little bit of fresh water, but that brackish water and salt water might eat up the WD-40, then I'll end up going with a light coat of grease on this. But you definitely have to put some type of lubricant to get this to run freely. This one is my cup holder, also my auxiliary hook and tackle tray. So I have a tray that I put in here that also holds, odds and ends stuff, the junk drawer or whatever. But for quick access, those lures that I might be using or hooks that I might change to, just toss them up in there. I like to keep the deck free because I like to stand and fish. So this was another plus, having that deck. But this here is my phone holder. I just love this thing. It actually puts the phone in such a great place. I run the Navionics app on my phone. And so that's how I see, the contour of the ground, of the floor that I'm fishing over. And then I use a regular Lowrance hook 2x4. There we go. Apparently I wasn't pressing the button hard enough. But that is my Lowrance hook 2x4 with the bullet skimmer. So it's just a sonar, which is fine for me. I did the PVC screw-in inserts. I think this was the 3/4 to 5/16, and then I had the reverse end of that underneath. I just used a zip tie I put a hole through that end of it, the bottom end, cut a notch out for the cable to come back up without being pinched, and then zip tied it through there. And this is just a screw on, using the Yak Attack screw holes to get it back in. I love this plate here. I'm glad that they put that there. As you can see, I have a voltmeter. That's for my trolling motor battery once it comes in. Love this plate. It allowed me to get a nice flat surface to put that through hole on. And then the other end of it comes here. Input into the fish finder. The other great thing is this oval hatch allows me to actually get this battery inside of the boat. So that was a great plus. I'm now able to get that battery inside of the boat and keep it from getting wet. The PWM switch. So this is just a recycled cast net box. So yep, nothing fancy and major about that. For these PWMs, 3 things you got to remember. 1, do not touch the circuit board unless you yourself is grounded, okay? I learned that touching these resistors and things like that without having yourself grounded will short them out. And I kept trying to figure out, how am I shorting out these PWM switches? Because I have a bunch of them, you know. By touching these boards and not being grounded, the static electricity through my body was shorting them out. So, and you can look on YouTube, they got different mechanisms to ground you. You got to make sure that the box that you have it in has some type of airflow, okay? Air needs to be able to flow through it. I got a couple of places where I got holes because heat will burn them out. So that's another thing. On hot days, it's good to, if you're not actually using the trolling motor, cut it completely off. This particular one that I have comes with a fan that's built in. It's one like this that actually has a fan built in. So, but that by itself is not enough if there's no moving air that is being sucked in. You see what I'm saying? So it's good to make some type of air hole, you know. Also have some holes underneath there to act as dual purpose of air and actually to let moisture drain out. These are just a couple of simple quick connects, battery and motor. So it's nice. Again, I use that Yak Attack through port right there. So I love that. Siliconed it up. So this is the marsh sled that I'm rolling with for 2022. And let me suggest this. Before you go to just making these mods on any kayak, spend some time with the kayak as is. You see the mods that I made and probably have found other YouTubers who've made similar or different mods. And you really need to figure out what is best for you. The best way to do that is actually spend time on the kayak as is, straight out of the box. As soon as you get it out of the box, go straight to the water with it. Take some time and figure out, what's best for you in relationship to this platform. One reason is you don't want to make accidental holes. You know what I mean? So you want to know, hey, I know I want this here. So when I make this hole here, I'm making that hole and I'm filling it with whatever I'm about to attach to it. And that's it. It's not going to change. So thank y'all for watching. I'm out.